It was interesting. I had the chance to see a few things. But you were 13. What exactly were you seeing? I went there to experience the lifestyle, and I did. But I don't know if I fully grasped or understood what I was looking at. It was pretty intense. Do you remember the time he and his mom kissed on the lips? And both of them were getting 4 drips at the same time? That's from what people online refer to as the Diddy freak-off era. Usher reportedly lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year, which is a surprising detail. Apparently, that arrangement was L.A. Reid's idea. He supposedly sent Usher to something called Puffy's Flavor Camp, which was meant to give them some exposure and experience. That's what it was called. So he ended up staying with Puff Daddy in the 1990s. Do you really understand what that was like? These days, a lot of attention is on Diddy's trial. But what people didn't expect was Usher potentially stepping forward with revelations that could shift the narrative. He's not just making subtle remarks. Allegedly, Usher has recordings that could expose more than what's already been discussed. Some sources claim that Usher was treated very badly by Diddy, so much so that he ended up in the hospital after a private incident. Before diving into the details, it's important to clarify. Everything here is based on leaked reports, testimonies, and online speculation. If this challenges what you thought you knew, remember, I'm just summarizing what's already circulating. Usher allegedly stayed silent for years, reportedly due to NDAs, hush money, and pressure. But now, it's said that he's ready to speak up, and he may have evidence to support his claims. Phone calls, recordings, and voice memos dating back to 2004. That's 20 years of possible documentation. Now, with Diddy's legal troubles growing and more celebrities being called to testify, Usher might reveal more. According to some sources, he didn't just witness what happened, he lived through it, long before the publicized allegations from others. Usher was reportedly involved closely, starting when he moved into Diddy's home at age 14. That's when, allegedly, he saw a lot. Parties, odd setups with cameras, and private auditions behind closed doors. He wasn't just a bystander. Some say he may have been a victim. And now, he could be a key witness. Let's rewind. Usher was around 13 or 14, newly signed to LaFace Records by L.A. Reid. He had the talent, the look, and a promising future. But instead of shielding him, Reid made a controversial move by sending him to live with Diddy, who was already known for his extravagant and wild lifestyle. Usher said they met when he was 14. In a book, someone recalls the moment as a major point in their career. Usher walked into the office, started singing, and was stopped. He was told, "Hold up, this is too good. Let me go get some girls." Then Usher reportedly performed for the women in the office, singing to one of them on one knee, with confidence and no fear. Even L.A. Reid later admitted he wasn't sure if the decision to send Usher to live with Diddy was bold or reckless. But things in that apartment reportedly got very dark. One source claims Usher ended up in the hospital after an incident there. People familiar with the Harlem scene at the time suggest that Diddy may have crossed a line. Something reportedly happened that sent Usher to the emergency room. At first, rumors didn't name names, but the stories involved someone getting badly hurt. Eventually, people realized the person in question might have been Usher. Insiders from that era acknowledged that something involving Puff and Usher did happen, and it allegedly led to Usher being hospitalized. They say, let Usher tell that story in his own time. But how can you excuse such a situation, especially if the allegations turn out to be true? Let me reframe something for you. Remember Usher back then? At the time, he didn't even fully grasp what he was being exposed to. In an interview, he once mentioned being sent to what was called Puffy's Flavor Camp when he was just 13. He reportedly lived with Sean Puffy Combs for an entire year. Imagine that A teenager spending a year in such an environment, surrounded by things no child should have been exposed to. This arrangement was reportedly L.A. Reid's idea, sending Usher to Flavor Camp to learn from Puffy. That's what it was called, Flavor Camp, where he would live with Puff Daddy during the 1990s. Usher didn't go into detail, but he gave enough of a picture in later interviews to suggest that the atmosphere was wild and packed with adult situations. He admitted that, at the time, he didn't fully understand what he was seeing. Looking back, he said it felt very off. He once said, "I got a chance to see some things," but acknowledged that he was too young to make sense of what he was witnessing. He described the experience as intense but left it vague. Diddy himself once made a strange comment during a live stream that raised eyebrows. He started talking about how he and Usher used to wake up together back in the day, then quickly caught himself mid-sentence. He tried to clarify by saying Usher was about 10 and they used to argue over breakfast cereal like Frosted Flakes. But by then, the mood had shifted. People around him appeared visibly uncomfortable, unsure of what to make of what he had just said. He tried to walk it back by saying, "That's my brother. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, we used to fight over Frosted Flakes." The moment still left viewers unsettled. It doesn't stop there. One unverified report claims Usher was at a dinner with Diddy, Neo, Jimmy Iovine, and Cassie, and during that dinner, Diddy allegedly hit Cassie in the stomach. According to the same account, no one at the table, not Neo, not Jimmy Iovine, not even Usher, said anything in response. This claim has circulated widely online, with many pointing out how disturbing the silence was, especially given that Usher is a father himself. If true, it would highlight the deep level of control or intimidation present in the situation. Now, some sources suggest that what Usher experienced wasn't just a string of isolated events. It was part of a long pattern of manipulation, something he had to go along with to stay in the industry. Over time, what once felt strange became normal, and eventually that normalization turned into silence. That silence seems to have followed him throughout much of his career, with the unresolved trauma staying buried. The story takes a more troubling turn when considering that Usher, perhaps unintentionally, may have continued the cycle. After growing up under Diddy's influence, Usher later helped launch Justin Bieber's career. At the time, Bieber was also 13, the same age Usher was when he met Diddy. In one interview, L.A. Reid claimed Usher told him he had a special gift and introduced him to Bieber. L.A. Reid said Justin was beautiful. Another widely circulated but unconfirmed story claims that Diddy had temporary guardianship over Justin Bieber for 48 hours. Diddy himself once said in a clip, "We can't really disclose where we were or what we were doing, but it was definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I had been given custody of him. I was signed to Usher, and I signed Usher. At one point, I had what felt like legal guardianship of Usher when he released his first album. I worked on that album. Though I didn't actually have legal guardianship of him, he was with me for about 48 hours, and during that time, we were together constantly. We were going all out. I told him, 'We're going out tonight. What do you want to do?' It was like, 'Let's go meet some girls.' But things didn't stop there. Justin Bieber also ended up spending time alone with Diddy when he was only 15, even going to parties with him. There are video clips showing Diddy asking Justin some awkward and questionable questions, even telling him not to talk about what happened during their time together. It's unsettling. In one of the videos, Diddy says to Justin, "You haven't been calling me or hanging out like we used to." Justin responds, explaining that Diddy had tried to contact him through business partners but didn't have his direct number. Diddy then offers to give him his number. In another clip, Diddy asks Bieber if he's wearing a wire, as if he suspects something could eventually come out. As for Usher, some people are now questioning his role in all this. There are claims that he introduced Justin to situations that he himself had trouble navigating in the past. One commenter even alleged that Usher had also been close to Diddy early on, suggesting that putting Justin in that same space was irresponsible. As more old videos and stories resurface, people are starting to draw connections, not just between Usher and Bieber, but others as well. Freddie P has also spoken out, saying Diddy allegedly kept his own son close, isolating him from his biological father and showering him with gifts. According to Freddie, this was a way of gaining loyalty and control, shaping those around him to protect his image. Freddie questions Diddy's closeness to children who weren't his, wondering why he would keep them so close if there weren't deeper reasons. He implies this could suggest inappropriate boundaries, though those claims are speculative and not verified. Some have even criticized Diddy's relationship with his mother. There's a video of him kissing his 83-year-old mom on the lips, calling her Mom Dukes, joking about her being single and even mentioning taking her to a strip club. While the video exists, interpretations vary. There are also rumors, shared by industry insider Gene Deal, that Diddy's mother once ran a modeling agency that allegedly doubled as an escort service. Deal further alleged she was present at some of Diddy's controversial parties. Again, these claims remain unverified and should be treated with caution. Online, some users have added their own speculation, suggesting troubling dynamics within the family, though there is no confirmed evidence to support those suggestions. When you look at the connections between Usher, Bieber, Cassie, Diddy's son, and his mother, it paints a picture that some believe suggests a larger pattern, though again, many of the details remain unconfirmed, and allegations should be considered carefully and responsibly.